What's up everyone, and welcome back to another Path of XL2 market analysis video. So in this video we'll look at some data, we'll look at the developments with the fund, and I'll discuss some general things that I wanted to talk about, especially considering the daily market updates. So first off, let's look at the different market developments. So for that reason, we'll be looking at the following Excel document, and we'll be looking at the short-term development graph as well as the long-term development graph. So if we look real close at the short-term development graph, we can see that this orange divine graph, it has reached the 100% line and even went below it. So that means that the divine orb has about kept the same value as it had yesterday. And in that context, especially with the past developments, that means that the divine orb has now indicated that a lot of the other currencies might have a significant value increase, especially when the divine orb now drops even more in its relative value, because that means that the ratio for any of the other currencies in comparison to the divine goes up. So goes down for the divine orb, but up for everything else. So you really want to invest into an omen or a currency that is worth a lot of divines, because that means it doesn't cost you a lot of gold, and you want to hold that for some time and see if the divine orbs continues decreasing in price, because that means that your currency is going to increase in price, so the currency that you have bought. So go ahead and get yourselves probably some Omen of Sinistral Annulment, maybe some Dexter Erasure Omens, and maybe, but really maybe, because it's not really that low right now, the Omen of Sinistral Erasure. You can kind of spread your investments across these three omens, and then you can see in the next 5 to 6 hours how the price develops, if the omens go up or down, and especially if the divine orb in comparison to Exalted goes up in price or down in price. If there will be less Exalted for divine in a couple of hours, that means that the prediction has been correct, and we can assume that the omen prices are going to skyrocket now, and we can expect a very nice investing opportunity, like you can see right here. If we are looking at the long-term developments, we can still see the same developments that we see every single day, and that is that the Chaos Orb is the absolute best currency to keep your long-term divines into. So if you're interested in just keeping the long-term value of your currency and you're not interested in any of the short-term trading, put everything you got into the Chaos Orb, because that will set you absolutely safe. So let's talk about the next topic. The next topic is going to be the current fund developments. So you saw in the last video that we have a kind of plan on how we want to now invest the currencies in. And for that reason, we have already determined that we want to wait until these orders give us some liquidity again. And if you remember the last video, we now have one less of these orders, right? We are selling 148 Omen of Sinister Erasure here for about 500 divine. So we already had 500 divine in liquidity, and I've decided that it makes the most sense to already continue investing into the other percentage plans that we set. So right here you can see that we are doing some margin trading in addition to some investment trading. So what's the margin trading and what's the investment trading right here? So the investment trading is buying some bear talismans, because there are no other buying offers for that talisman right now, and especially for our builds, it is not really that much of a bad talisman, right? And it had some trading volume in the past, and right now you can be the only one who is buying those talismans. So if there's even one person or 2 people, 3 people selling to us, we can expect a couple of divines profit, and we will just hold those bear talismans until maybe they have a similar development to the rabbit talisman or the fox talisman. So that's the investment trade right here. And for the margin trading, we got the Rabbit Talisman, which you can see we're buying at 74, we're selling at 82. And from that, we get about 7 or 8 divines in profit. Really depends if we need to buy at 75 or maybe we need to sell at 81. And that means for every, you can see, for every order, we spent about 60,000 gold. And we get about 7 divines, which is pretty good because that means we get 1 divine for every 9,000 gold. So yeah, that's why we're doing the margin trading with the Rabbit Talisman, and that's just really testing out the waters a bit more. We did this the past couple of days already, and it has been fairly profitable, but of course it takes a long time until these things sell or are being bought. So yeah, that's the current situation. We need to wait on these different orders to fulfill to do some more trades, and we'll simply keep the investments or the margin trading exactly the percentages that were mentioned before. So yeah, that's also why we do not have any increase in the investor wallets for today, since there hasn't been any liquidity that we could invest into any of the currencies. So what we'd like to do, especially in this situation right now, actually counterintuitive to what we did in the past, where we bought these omens at a very high price, so now we have to sell at an even higher price to make some profit. We'd have to buy these at a very, very low price that they're at right now. We could make a huge profit. So we could buy at 3.15 or maybe even 3 if we had a lot of liquidity, right? If these orders already fulfilled, and then we could make a lot of profit. So that's what we'd do if we had the liquidity, but we do not have it right now. So there will just be some waiting out, and there will not be any profit for probably the next 1 or 2 days until these orders fulfill. So yeah, that's for the fund update. And now the last thing that I just want to discuss are on the daily updates. So I set myself a different schedule for the daily updates, as well as I am continuously working on some other videos as well. So I have a video already 90% or 80% finished, where I really did a lot of editing. I had put in a lot of effort. As you can probably see, these videos, they are just one-take videos. I just complete the data, which takes me like 40 minutes each day, and then I record this video and I release it. So I have some videos that I'm working on and that I'm actively editing to make them of more quality, so we can stay tuned for that. And the market updates are going to be published in a different time, which is probably going to be 10 or 11 Central European time AM. I hope I said that right and that makes sense, because I'm not really good at talking in American terms. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you this helped you a bit, and I'll see you guys in the next one, probably in some different kind of video, because as said, I already have one of them 90% finished. So that's all from me. I'm out.